Hello, greetings, this is Gilles. I wanted to come and say hello. I'm going to pull 10 cards with the Dakini for when I've been doing this jogging. It's extremely hot today. It's it's called the Valley of the Garden here. And so I'm going to run into town and see what. So the situation is nothing short of the hot seat. It is the seat of the emperor. It is a great deal of responsibility, but it's also brilliant new ideas. You have we're getting ready to become sovereign, to have all this increase of power. Which means if we have this increase of power, we have increase of responsibility. What we do not want as the emperor is to lose sight of our spiritual, our insight, not to be distracted by all the things of the material world. And so, but it is a great deal of empowerment that is coming. What's around the situation is the card mean and heavy. So it is about not being mean and heavy. It's very important to stay kind and to stay light, because the world is mean and heavy. So we do not want to attract those kind of reflection to us. What we see before us in our conscious mind is a deep end. It is a deep end. It is the end of the end of the end of the end. So we're like, once we touch the bottom, we just got to let go of the weight and we'll emerge back. Well, there's a lot of insects today because of the heat. There's all kinds of little insects. They don't really bother me. So once we reach the end, it will be like a cork. We'll just go back to the surface. I don't want to take those back home. So what we have in our well, maybe I should have let him explore it. I kicked him out of my bag, but no, he's still there. So what we have in our spirit, in our past, in the subconscious, is a serpent power, is the understanding of the power of sexuality, the power of choice. So we have this choice, and right now the situation is nothing short of the waves of bliss. So it is the waves of bliss. It is love. It is connecting through love. It's surfing on the waves of bliss. And so, in the immediate future, we're going to find the way through. It is the key that unlocks the door to abundance, to joy, to freedom. And it is the card of the hermit. Our strength within the situation is the earthbound. It's like is the universe. It is salvation. It's the ability to look at the earth from above. It is the doorway to the world. It is everything we ever seek comes from within. What comes to us from the outside world is the guardian. It is a mystical path of transformation. And so it's an initiation that is there. What we feel in our hopes and fear, in our inner emotion, is just passing through. Everything is just passing through. This whole reality that we live here in time is nothing. It's like a drop of water in the ocean of eternity. It's like everything is passing through. Whether it is a good experience or a bad experience, it will change, it will pass. So just enjoy it all, and it is as much as possible to see that everything is perfect, so we can flow and not resist. And so we move out of the more heavier situation by acceptance, and the outcome will be fun. It's going to be the horseplay. We're going to be able to play, to enjoy. We came here to enjoy. We didn't come here to suffer. But we do have to let go of all the shadows aspect of the self. I'm going to talk about the elementals and also about the fourth dimension, to speak about the shadow aspect and the light aspect of those energies. For the elemental world is an invisible world, kingdoms of beings that are invisible to us, but they maintain of the life force of all the physical realm. In this plane, it's all about physical. When we move into the ascended kingdoms, it's physical and morantial, and when we move into higher planes, it is physical, morantial, and spiritual. So there's three kinds of matter. Here we just got physical, but there are elemental kingdoms. The most famous are the selves. They are the air elementals, they are the ondine, they are the water elemental, the salamander, the fire elemental, and there is the gnomes. They are the earth elementals, but there are all kinds of other elementals that are contributing to the manifestation of the physical world. And we all have those four elements within ourselves. We have these body elementals. For there are elementals that are protecting, that are guarding, that are manifesting all the mineral kingdoms, or crystals, or metals, and there are elementals that are manifesting the vegetal kingdoms, but they're doing it with the elves and the fairies and the pixies and all kinds of, and then on the higher planes there is also higher elementals like the dragons and unicorns that are guarding the sacred fires, and there are all kinds of elementals, and they're all supervised by Devic angels, which are supervised by Elohim, who are the creator of forms. And so we all have this diva, those elemental body, this diva that those Devic angels that are supervising the manifestation of our physical body, and the Elohim that is above us, that is the creator of form. And so we want to work with the elementals for their, and there was this question in Charles Baudelaire, the Flowers of Pain. He asked, inanimate object, do you have a soul? It is a question that a lot of insects today, mosquitoes and stuff. But in any event, I don't mean to criticize insects. There's a big one that comes. It's like, and so yes, objects do not have a soul per se, but they are elemental beings, they are intelligent beings that are holding the material frequency of them. And eventually, there used to be a lot of negative elementals because the earth was very heavy, and now they're replaced by positive elementals, and for their elementals that are sustaining all kinds of things as well. And right now, there's the pulse. For many years, there's been in the Gulf of Yemen underwater. There's been a pulse that has been going on. So the navies from all the nations are all like trying to figure it out. They can't figure it out, but it keeps them busy there. And this pulse is actually meant to eventually disconnect all of the military technologies. So they won't work. None of them will eventually work at the time of the transition. And eventually the elementals are sustaining all those military technology and weaponry and so on will eventually withdraw their energy, and they will fall into dust. After the ascension, we won't need that. For the elementals, the natural world has been maintained by those elementals, but there are also the genies of the wind, the genies of the rain, and all kinds of genies. We can invoke them, convoke them once we become connected. Like the Greek gods, they could manifest things. They make rain, or they can make good weather. They could manifest anything they wanted because they came from a higher cycle of life. They were advanced extraterrestrials from Cassiopeia that came to assist human beings. And they're still there. They're working through astrology, but they were physically present in physical form, and 30,000 years ago, and they were able to manifest things just from their thoughts. They were very empowered beings, and we will eventually get that power. And so I wanted to talk about the adamantine particle of light, for those are the very core of manifestation. Within all things there is this divine love, this divine particle of creator love and light that are called adamantine particle, and the creator has placed some particles of adamantine within each of our chakra and our sacred hearts, and eventually we want to liberate them. We want to be able, we have to work through love in order to access those, and eventually to move into this river of life. For we cannot wait for the planetary change, for the solar flash, or for the change in economic structure, or the government, or the extraterrestrial. We need to go through this purification each and every day and achieve our own ascension. For humanity has the power to breathe in the I Am presence, to breathe in the light, and slowly but surely, for me, I'm still working out, so that the Spirit says whenever my physical body will have completed my cleansing, they will tell me everything. I will know it all. I shouldn't say that, but it's private and personal. But in the meantime, because I have decades of toxicities within me, so it takes months, years of working out and being in the between world like this. So but it will change very soon. Before for everything comes from the heart. The heart is a mystery. We continue to seek it out. For we're not expected to be perfect, but we need to work towards our perfection each and every day. For when we first came into this universe, we were not physically. We never knew physicality or contrast or anything like that. For this is a game of creation. The contrast, the good and the bad, and the stage and all those things. But we were fully guided and directed by the heart, and there was no confusion. Everything was just a flow, because the heart was always there. We didn't need maps or compasses to know that we needed to come here to this planet. It was just the heart that led us here, and so it is. We still want to continue to work through the heart to open the front and back portal of our heart chakra, to call on the archangels, and reconfigure the hologram, the holographic matrix. Everything is holographic here, so we can reconfigure it, and mostly by letting go of the past. It is essential, and because everything that we did when it comes to holding on to truth, regardless of the lies that were broadcasted, to have integrity regardless of the corruption, to stay true to those principles, have been recorded in our heart, and those are very important, even if they don't show much advantages here on the planet. To be honest, is not really the most profitable thing to do, but it's still much better to stay true to those principles. And because soon we'll be able to stand tall with all those principles. We can do it now, because our life is already been drawn. Before we even came into this existence, we already drew all the circumstances of our life with a pencil, and as we move, we live it. Sometimes we go around it, but what we want is just to rewrite, to write on top of what is already been written, to flow with what's already there. And when we see beautiful space, we fill it in with colors. For 2020, everybody was expecting with this after 2012 to move into freedom and liberation, when 2020 is the most difficult year in this century as far for general aspect, because we were expecting liberation, and what we got is more fear, more darkness that are being amplified, and it will continue for a little while. But it's a good sign, because it's going to be released. So I wanted to discuss briefly the fourth dimension. There is a book, that's a magnificent book from an author. It's a poetry book, but it's also an initiation book. It's called The Divine Comedy. The original title was The Sacred Poem. It's from Dante Alighieri. It's a poet, Italian poet from the 13th century. And it's still very actual. What he does is that in this book, he goes through the circles of hell, find the light in purgatory, goes through a circle of purgatory, and eventually find his beloved on paradise. And so what's so important is that we all have, for all those who seek to achieve ascension, need to go through this hell. For the fourth dimension is above the third dimension, is the physical realm of senses in matter, and the fourth dimension is the realm of dreams. But there is the lower and the higher, and it is from the lower aspect, the lower fourth dimension, that all the demons is hell, is all the demons, all the negative extraterrestrial, the black magic, the Illuminatis, they all work to control the matrix from there. So we have to pass through that. A lot of people do not even want to face those shadows. That's why they refuse to even look at spirituality or ascension. But as we slowly but surely, this has been cleansed and cleared, and as we do that, we clear our own shadows, and we assist in the clearing up of the lower fourth dimension. We are able to elevate ourselves into a more pure dreams, to let go of the nightmare as we awaken. And eventually we'll reach the fifth dimension, the apex, the nirvana, above the astral planes of the fourth dimension. But do not be concerned for the shadows. They have no substance except to create delays and confusion. So this is the only tools they have, and they're working it really well. They utilize in mass hypnosis through the television channels, and they've been doing that for thousands of years. But now with shifting time, shifting ages. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to pull 4 more cards. I thought I'd sing a song. It's an older song. It's through my mind, and I thought I sing it. It's from Bob Dylan. It's about when can we end the wars, because it's no longer necessary, except for those who are manufacturing weapons and war profiteering. But it's called Blowing in the Wind. It goes like this. How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, how many times must the cannonball fly before they forever bend? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yes, how many years can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? Yes, how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yes, how many times can a man turn his head, pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yes, how many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? Yes, how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? Yes, how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. For it is very clear, we do no longer need wars. They're investing so many billions and trillions of dollars and euros into wars. It's like, but it's really not serving the people. So hopefully this awakening will also bring about some understanding in relationship to that. For this consciousness emerged at the time of the hippie movement and the Vietnam War. There was like make love, not war. It's been cleared already for a very long time, and a lot of people, most people do not want or need war. There's a lot of insects today. For the highest wisdom is triumph. We are triumphant to allow ourselves to be triumphant over the darkness, the shadow aspect of ourselves. What we need to understand is compassion, how to be good to ourselves and to continue to do good to the world. What we need to do is the revelation, to be open to receive the revelation and reveal it to others. And the outcome is patience. For the rewards of patience is patience, and for everything is coming, but it's coming on the back of a turtle. So we have to be patient. Thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.